Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm gonna apologize in advance. I'm feeling more ticks today than I have been. I've actually been doing pretty well. Uh, and especially I've been trying to do videos when they're like not super bad. But I really wanted to make this video after what happened today, which I'm so thankful for. It's so cool. Such a cool thing happened today. But I'll preface that with this video is also going to be focused on nitrous oxide. I won't go too much into details. I really ought to watch my old videos and see exactly what I went into in terms of the physiology, like how it affects your body. Especially with the nerve damage. But I just kind of wanted to just talk about what happened today, and then also talk about some of my goals that I would like moving forward. So earlier today, I did have a gentleman leave a comment on one of my videos about the nitrous abuse, and they had requested or they wanted to talk on the phone. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to receive it because it was long distance, but we did get something worked out, thankfully. And we had it was a really great chat. It was nice talking to them. I think it was like 30-40 minutes. And the reason why I'm going to be intentionally vague for privacy reasons, but this person has had a similar experience in terms of nerve damage and how it affected them. Kind of like with what happened with me with the nerve damage and not being able to walk and slowly but eventually recovering like 99% to the point where, I can walk, run, jog, bike, jump. I can move my toes. It's crazy how, we take a lot of that for granted. Because before any of this happened, I mean, there was no thought in my mind like, oh, I'm so thankful I can walk. But then after this happens, you're like, wow, I am so thankful, that I was able to recover. So yeah, we had a nice chat. They asked me some questions, kind of a little more about what happened with me. They told me what was going on with them, which I really appreciate. Them opening it up and sharing, because that's one of my intentions with these videos, is to provide some sort of insight as far as what happened with me, which can happen to others with the nerve damage, but also hopefully be kind of a beacon of light, inspire some people. And I promise I don't mean that in like a conceited, grandiose way. But back when it happened to me, I was so hopeless and so depressed, and my life was just a mess, to where I just really didn't give an F if I were to even die. But as I started getting better, that hope increased. And I think that's one of the things that really helped me. So if I can share my story and inspire others, like, hey, recovery is possible. It, and like I told him, I mean, it's so dependent on so many factors. I mean, how much you used, were abusing, how long, and then like your own personal genetics, so it was really great to kind of talk and share my stuff. He shared his. It was a really great chat. Our plan is to, have him stay in touch with me, which is super cool. So that way he can tell me updates. He sounds like he was already making some pretty good progress in terms of the symptoms not being so intense from the nerve damage. So that's super cool. I love that. That's fantastic. I will say in here too, while it's extremely helpful, that wasn't kind of the main reason I was excited for that phone call. But I do want to state this. After our chat, he sent me a nice sum of money. I'm not going to say how much, but I was just like, no, you don't need to give me anything. I just, if I can help in any way. But they're like, no, really. And so that's, I'm so thankful. I am so thankful for that, because that can pay off pretty much like 2/3 of my rent, which is awesome. So I don't have to worry so much, stress about, trying to rush into taking more recoveries or working like a job. Like a retail job. I've fortunately have had the luxury of not having to find work immediately. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm incredibly grateful for that. But anyways, I just wanted to throw it in there because I am so thankful for that person doing that, even though they didn't have to. I really hope that, he stays in touch and lets me know how his recovery's going. I don't know. That's why I wanted to make this video. I encourage anyone, whether you are personally experiencing it, know someone that's personally experiencing it, or haven't had that in your life, or the people around you. I always encourage comments. I would like to try to make a really detailed, in-depth video, so that way, might answer some questions that a lot of people, or answers a majority of questions that someone might have. But if you want to know more, and actually I'm gonna relink that subreddit in the description, because if that can kind of take off, that would be great. Because as this person had said, there's just not a lot of resources. There's not really lots of information out there. So someone who has had that experience before, that could possibly be pretty helpful. That, at least that's my hope. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them, and not just in this video, but in any video, because I've talked about a handful of things, not just the nitrous oxide and the nerve damage. So if you're curious or would like to know more, let me know. Like I said, I'm going to do the subreddit event. I do have an alt Facebook account that I'm going to put on there, if anyone wants to reach me via Messenger. And then I'm also going to put, I think it was Kick. I'm just going to throw up a bunch of different ways that you can get a hold of me. I do try to pay attention to the comments. And of course, thumbs up all comments, because I really appreciate the comments. And that way, if someone has a question, I can hopefully answer it, or at least give a little more detail as to what happened with me. So please comment, but hopefully, if not commenting, you can shoot me a message or go to that subreddit, and hit me up. I'm more than happy to share my experiences and to answer any questions that someone might have after watching my videos. That's just so cool. Well, it's so cool, but it's a shame that the nerve damage, all that horrible stuff happens to other people. I was aware of it, but to hear somebody talk about it, it's just tough, because it was such a scary, horrific experience, filled with a lot of uncertainty and hopelessness, like I had said. So I'm glad I could share my story and hear their story about it. the only thing I'm not glad about is that it's, somebody else going through something similar or pretty much the same thing. That doesn't make me happy. Of course, I wouldn't wish that upon anyone, but it's just nice to talk and try to help. That's pretty much like one of my main goals in life, is to help others. And it doesn't have to even be in big ways. Like with me volunteering at the Recovery Cafe, I serve food for a few hours, but it's just nice to like help people or give back. When it comes to like employment, and I have some good news. I'll talk about that towards the end of this video. But in terms of employment, I don't care so much about how much I get paid. I care more about the effect that I could have on people. And that's not to say, like work in fast food or retail. You're still helping people in some capacity. So don't get me wrong. But I would like to, ideally work as a recovery coach and share my experiences, not just with substance abuse, particularly nitrous oxide, but also with mental health. So yeah, that's again, anyone that wants to comment or whatnot, please. So yeah, that's one of my kind of intentions with this moving forward, is hopefully to get more communication with other people. And that subreddit I created, I think it can be incredibly powerful for others to share their story. It doesn't just help the person they're sharing it to, but for me personally, I can't speak for everyone. Me personally, it does help to be able to share your story. And with the nitrous oxide and inhalants as a whole, it's not nearly commonly. It's not very common. It happens. There are people in this world that have experience with that, but it's not nearly as prevalent as like something like alcohol or opioids. And also, I just want to make this distinction. I believe everyone has a unique story regardless of what substances they used. So just because it's alcohol, which is more common, I always enjoy hearing others' story and experiences with that and how their recovery's going. So I don't think like someone that abused inhalants or whatever, nitrous oxide, are like extra special. But there's really not that much information online. So it can be hard to kind of look like much about it. And so yeah, if I can help others that way, that's awesome. My other intention with this topic is I would like to start doing more research. I've done a decent amount, but there's always more stuff to learn. But kind of posting or even talking about in a video possibly, but at the very least posting in that subreddit articles, research studies, anything I can find, and link it, of course, but also maybe provide like a synopsis. I don't know. I'm not sure if anyone would be interested in that, but it's at least another thing that I can do to maybe try to help people. So yeah, that's another one of my intentions. So yeah, I don't know. I just it was so cool. I really enjoyed speaking with that person a lot, and I'm rooting for them in their recovery, which sounds like they're on a great path. So that's about all I'll say on that. As far as everything else, or at least kind of as far as today goes, because I did say it's a great day, mostly because of that, but the organization that I've been doing the recovery coaching through gave me another match with a peer. So I'll be working with 3, which isn't a whole bunch, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. I mean, ideally, I'd like to work with like 10 to 15. So, that's a ways away. But yeah, the more people I can work with and help, it's just like super cool. So getting that third match today was also really awesome. So, and then I'm just doing pretty well overall. I went out grocery shopping today and got quite a bit of stuff. I got that money, which, by the way, thank you again. I can't overstate that. And yeah, like my depression, my anxiety has been relatively low. I'm not feeling like I've been fighting off a physical illness like I was, over the past 7-10 days. I've been probably because I've been sleeping pretty well this week. So that probably helped. But I do need to. I've been slacking a bit with working out. I have still gone out and biked, several miles, almost every day. But I really would like to get back into weightlifting. For me, that is pretty much the most helpful thing in terms of my anxiety and depression. I mean, I do take an antidepressant, and I'm thankful for that. But hands down, exercise is like the best antidepressant. And then anxiolytic, hopefully I'm using that term right, and anti-anxiety. It's just so powerful. And of course, that might not be the case with other people just because we are all different in many factors, like I was kind of saying. So that might not be the case for others, but for me, it makes a huge difference. So I would like to get back into weightlifting. I don't know. I think I'm going to weightlift on Saturday because I do meet with my probation officer tomorrow at like 1:30. And I like to work out earlier in the day, but I don't want to work out before I meet them because I tend to get pretty like jacked up, like not like tweaking or anything, but there's definitely a noticeable elevation in my mood and condition. And I UA with the PO every time I meet him, and everything's been negative. Everything's been fine because I've, hitting 1 year in a few months. That's crazy. That's so crazy. So I mean, he could UA me. Well, he will UA me, and it would be negative. But still, with that sort of thing, especially if I start getting anxious, I get more like sometimes I can get like physically, tremulous, diaphoretic, and I just don't want there to be even a slight bit of doubt or a slight bit of thinking, is that person on drugs? Are they under the influence? I can prove I'm not, but I'd still rather not risk it. And then by the time I finish with him and head home, it's going to be a little too late in the day. So yeah, after my weekly circle on Saturday, I'll work out then. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing else kind of comes to mind. Still haven't heard back from the housemates. I think they're going to give him a few more days to come home, or at least like really check in. And that really hurts. That's really sad. I mean, I understand. I'm not angry at that person or upset. Not even disappointed. Just because I've been there, done that. Something was making a noise over on his bed. But it just, he was a good person. He seemed to be really strong in his recovery. So to see him derail and stay off the rails is really unfortunate. But again, I've been there, done that. I completely understand. Especially after like you relapse, it's especially difficult to get back on track. At least for me, my experience is, well, I already messed up. which, you know, I now is causing a lot of negative feelings and emotions in me. So it's like, and like, oh, I lost my streak of clean days. So it's like, well, I might as well just keep drinking or using. And then also having to come home. It's not like anyone would be mad or upset with him if he comes back. But still, it's, you know, there is a lot of that shame and embarrassment, that guilt that's attached to relapses. So I understand why. I just hope, again, that he's safe, you know, being safe and healthy, and then, you know, hopefully he can work through what he needs to work through and come back. I really enjoyed having him as a housemate, and so has everyone else. So that's still a bit of a bummer. But yeah, I'm going to end the video here. I just, like I said, wanted to really talk about my cool experience today, and think of some ways that I can be more available to communication. Also, like I said, I also want to try and make maybe some more detailed videos. So that way, you know, people that might have a question, you know, it gets answered in that. And then, yeah, do the information thing, try to do some research and post it with available links on the subreddit, so that way others can read more about it. Because the pathophys behind it is pretty interesting. I think I've touched upon it in one of my videos, so I won't go into too much. Well, that's it. I'm not just too much more, just that's it. So yeah, thank you guys. As always, I really appreciate anyone that watches, comments. The likes and subscribes are super helpful. Helps me to grow my channel a bit more, so that way hopefully I can reach more people. And thanks again to that gentleman. I really look forward to keeping in touch with him and hearing his progress in terms of recovering from that nerve damage. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.